Hello and welcome to BW Auto World. I am Utkarsh Agarwal. Well, we are in the middle of the festive season and the automobile industry is witnessing increased demand and increased production to meet the demand. Well, today we are here at the MG Motor India office to know from them about their plans. And for this, I'm joined by Gaurav Gupta, Deputy Managing Director of MG Motor India. Gaurav, thank you for your time to BW.
Pleasure.
So we are in the middle of the festive season. What demand is MG witnessing as of now, and any offers you offering this festive season?
Well, I must say that the overall, if you look at first the automotive market particularly, has seen a buoyancy in the last few months. In fact, the industry is now at about 9% higher year to date, Jan to October versus last year. And versus that, MG has right now grown at about 25% Jan to October. So that buoyancy has come through various initiatives. But in particularly, I would say right from the month of August when we had Onam in Kerala, and then you've got Ganesh Chaturthi in September in Maharashtra. In October, we were with Dussehra, Navratri. There's still more to come. There is Dhanteras and Diwali to come as well to really kind of close the loop on the entire festive period. So the momentum has been encouraging. And obviously, all of us have been looking forward to this build-up, and we are very excited about this.
So the demand and supply goes hand in hand. So to meet this increased demand, is company facing any supply chain issues also? Like previously, we've seen the semiconductor issues. Is the situation, how's the situation right now?
Well, I would say over the last few months, most of the supply chain issues have been ironed out. Although there are sometimes occasional variant mismatches and certain supply challenges can be there. But in general, I would say not only for MG, but overall, the supply chain issues have been very well addressed now, and everyone is gearing up their back-end activities to be able to support the customer requirement.
MG Motor also recently completed the 100 years of its global operations. So how's been the journey so far, especially if we talk about India? MG entered India in 2019. So how's been the journey so far in terms of customer experience also? How's the process changed and how the customers started acquiring MG?
I must say that firstly, all of us are very privileged. After all, how many brands, celebrate a centenary during our own lifetime? And I think for MG to celebrate 100 years is also a great milestone. And right here in India, although we've just spent about 4 years now, out of which we had 2 years down with COVID, but to celebrate 100 years, we've got a plethora of entire activities. We've specially taken, because we have a philosophy, we never take your smile for granted. So we've reached out to all our existing customers and we've got a special support package, etc. for them at the workshop to support their cars if they have any concerns, and of course pamper them on that front. At the same time, to invite more and more MG customers into the family at India, we've got special offers for them on the new car side as well. Besides that, we've expanded and worked on with all our dealer partners, our stakeholders and our employees. So there is an entire MG 100 years festivity which is also adding on to the momentum of the general festive period as well.
MG is usually known for technology and innovations, and if we talk about ADAS in India, how do you think people in India especially have the perception about the ADAS? Do they have started accepting this technology, or what do you think about it?
It's a very good question. You're right, MG as an auto tech brand, we've always looked at bringing in new technology and democratizing it across our offering. It started with the Hector, which has the internet car, and then the Gloucester with autonomous capability, with ADAS as well. And now all our car lines, typically all our SUVs have the ADAS capability in them. ADAS actually is really a very good way to offer the customer a dual approach. One is convenience. So features like traffic jam assist help you in traffic conditions in a city. At the same time, it also offers a lot of safety features, because when you are speeding and when you are on lanes which are well marked, then in terms of automatic emergency braking, all of them, lane keep assist, all of that kicks in as well. So it's got a feature of, it supports customers both in safety and convenience. And we are seeing now an increased demand and increased pull by customers for ADAS in their vehicles. In fact, studies show that the ADAS market would be almost close to 1.5 billion now in the country. And we are seeing upwards of 50% of demand coming in for ADAS vehicles within our portfolio also. So it's here to get more and more well accepted and spread out in the portfolio.
So what new technologies is MG also working on? In
Well-
the future, what would we say?
Well, I would say that there are already the 4 pillars of CASE: connected, autonomous, shared, electric, that we've been working on. Add to that the AI part that we bring in, artificial intelligence in our MG Aster. So these are getting very, very well entrenched into our portfolio. As we take on the next steps, we are looking at bringing in more interface elements with our customer, building on our electric vehicle portfolio. And the way we showed in our Auto Expo, we've got a plethora of offerings available in the new energy vehicle space. So we are obviously evaluating multiple combinations of both ICE and NEVs as well to bring into the marketplace.
So if we talk about the India especially, the government recently rolled out the Bharat NCAP, if you would know, and from the October this year, and they'll be starting the testings from the December this year. So is MG planning to send their vehicles also for the test?
Yes, we are evaluating the entire proposal by the government on Bharat NCAP, and internally we are reviewing it, and we will be sharing our plans very shortly. Incidentally, our cars already, for example, when we see our ZS EV, it already has an NCAP 5-star rating. We also have ratings of our the Aster also has been rated in the European markets. So we have these cars which have got rated in the overseas markets. We are evaluating them from an Indian market.
So if we talk about the sustainability goals, what are the MG sustainability goals? And like if I can give an example, many automotive OEMs have announced that they'll go all electric by so and so year, or they'll have 50% electric and 50% mixed fuel vehicles. MG showcased a hydrogen powered vehicle recently at the Auto Expo. So how is MG's portfolio going to look like in the future? It'll be like all electric, mix a portfolio, what will be the percentage?
See, the way to look at that, the way to address the question would be to see the entire landscape of an Indian automotive market right now. As we speak, we expect that by 2025, about 10% of the industry could be electric vehicles. And fast forward to 2030, it will be, 30% plus of the entire industry. Given that today we are at about 4.1 million industry lookout by the end of the year, and when you look at the projected growth rates over the next few years, and at 70% ICE vehicles and 30% new energy vehicles, there's going to be a sizable population of both in the marketplace. And keeping in mind the entire landscape, like I mentioned, it will be appropriate and it will be well suited to really have products to play in both sides of the market. At the same time, we are evaluating multiple options. You're right, we showcase at the Auto Expo the entire technology stack of pure electric vehicles, plug-in hybrids, and also the fuel cell vehicles. So we're evaluating them for India as well across various body styles. We are also working on our current portfolio as we enhance it over the next few years. So it's going to be a good mix of where the market is as we progress along.
So it's still in evaluation process, and you haven't decided like by so and so year. Like many OEMs have announced, like they go all electric by 2034, say.
See, some of the OEMs who have announced this are OEMs in the Western markets, and that is again for particular Western countries per se. But when you look at a market like India, where you've got a large percentage, where you have a mix of both the existing technologies and the new technologies, one has to look at what is the best suited for the Indian market. Having said so, we definitely feel that we were the early starters for the electric vehicles. We brought in the ZS EV in 2019 December, and in 2020 we launched the car in Q1 calendar year. So we were working on it for 2 years prior to that, obviously. So as we speak, we are firm believers in the technology of space of electric vehicles in the marketplace. We definitely would like to have a larger play for electric vehicles as we go along, and we are evaluating multiple options also. It doesn't stop at electric vehicles only. We have been working on the entire EV ecosystem. We've been working on the charging infrastructure with our partners. We were the first to recycle an electric vehicle battery as well in the market, in the country, through our partners. We have been investing in public charging space also. EV education is an area that we are working on. So we are firm believers that EV space will grow rapidly, both in numbers and in percentage. And we are working on that space as well to be making sure that we also have an active play as the segment also grows.
If we're talking about the electric vehicles, what is the current share of electric vehicles in the overall sales of the MG?
You'll be happy to know and surprised maybe as well that our current portfolio sales, between 25 to 30% of our current sales is electric vehicles. And we look at it, when we see the next few years, we see this percentage only growing upwards.
And how has been the response on the recently launched Comet?
Well, the Comet has been, I would say, sufficiently well received. It has been accepted in southern markets more openly and more. It's really been well accepted there, and we are expanding the footprint as we go along. So these are new body styles, new form shapes, and obviously these take some time for acceptance as well. But so far the response has been very encouraging, and we continue to build on this as we go forward.
We're also nearing the end of this year. So what will we see before the end of this year? We have 2 months left. So will we see something from the MG Motors this year?
Well, right now I would say that we expect to keep the momentum of the growth in our marketplace. You'll expect more and more network coverage from our side as we go along, because we have about 350 centers where we are present right now, or touch points as we call it. We want to expand that to close to 370, 375 by the end of this year. So that is going to get completed. We also will be looking at firming up our plans for the next year also in a more crisper shape. So all this will be keeping us active, and obviously to maintain the 100-year celebration and build this up also as we go along.
You spoke about the touch points, but any plans to expand the production capacity also? So
we have our current production capacity. When MG took over this plant in Baroda, in Halol, the capacity was about 60,000 cars per annum. As we speak, we have been able to scale it up to about 1.2 to 1.25 lakhs per annum. Our current volume pace is about 5,000 cars a month. So we do have a current headroom available with us for additional 5,000 cars on a monthly basis. So given that, we are sufficiently placed with our current plant to be able to meet the demand and meet the growing production plans. But having said so, we also had expressed earlier that we are scouting plans for our second plant as well. So that will come in a due course of time. But from an expansion of the current plant, I think we've been able to double the capacity in the given time frame, and therefore we are sufficiently well placed to be able to meet the demand from the marketplace.
Going ahead in the year, what will we see next year coming up from the MG Motors?
Well, we like we had promised, we will always bring one new car every year. So that continues to be the mantra and the driving force at our end. Along with that, you will obviously see the regular upgrades and enhancements across the portfolio. You will see network expansion as well, and continuing of the festivity period as well for 100 years.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you, Utkarsh.